Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our next Robot Heroes podcast.
Today we're looking at the nearly forgotten film, Astro Boy.
In this retelling of the original manga anime, Astro Boy is about a young robot with incredible powers created by a brilliant scientist in the image of the son he's lost. Unable to fulfill the grieving man's expectations, our hero embarks on a journey in search of acceptance, experiencing betrayal and another world of robot gladiators before he returns to save Metro City, and reconcile with the father who has rejected him.
And I surprisingly found out that was the original story. I thought it was like updated and this was a modern
screen,
right, but it turns out that actually was the original plot of the manga / anime. So they actually didn't stray away from it. It's just, I guess maybe the concept of it was too much of a shock at the time, because this came in about 2009, right?
Right. So,
and it had pretty much an all-star cast.
Oh, definitely. And we'd watched this years ago when we bought the movie. Years ago. And we decided to go ahead and rewatch it before doing the podcast. And I'm glad we did, because there are little bits and pieces and things that we totally forgotten about that actually occurred in the movie. So I'm glad that we did rewatch it. So before we get started, I'm going to say we know this movie is pretty old, so there are no spoilers. And if you've seen this movie, let us know what you thought about it in the comments below.
Right.
Now let's continue.
Right. Now, first up, I will say animation is really, really well done.
Yes,
for the CGI and all the effects. The sound effects were great. The animation was great. It had lots of great cinematography. And the characters, they made them look like a blend between, I guess, the anime and Americanized version.
Right.
And it was produced by Imagi Animation Studios, which is no longer in business.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think because maybe all their movies bombed.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, because this was the last one they did and they shut down, because Astro Boy was not a success with critics or with for financial reasons. So, unfortunately, that's probably why we haven't seen a sequel or anything related to this character in years.
Right. So let me cover what you said about the financing. It was a $65 million budget. It didn't even make back what it took to make it at $42 million. Now, despite it having a star-studded voicing cast, Nicolas Cage, Eugene Levy, Nathan Lane, Kristen Bell, Charlize Theron, Donald Sutherland, and in the title role, Freddie Highmore, who we all originally know from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and who's now a full-fledged adult doing The Good Doctor on ABC. Despite that, it didn't do well. And we were thinking that possibly part of the problem is that the child dies in the movie.
Yeah.
In the beginning, the very beginning.
Right. And we were thinking, okay, did they just like change this up or something? Like, no, this was the original story. And perhaps seeing that was too much at the time. Now, every Disney has pretty much broken everything. Anybody on any age can get killed off in their movies. So now they've kind of pretty much numbed everybody with that. Right. It'll just be the most annoying rather than sad.
Right.
So maybe this came out way too soon, as if to just pretty much that. Maybe it was too much then, because now this would probably be okay.
Now, we also saw that on Rotten Tomatoes, it only got 50% rating. And it says that the general consensus is that while it isn't terribly original and it seems to have a political agenda that may rankle some viewers, they also thought that it didn't have enough visual thrills to please the target demographic.
Perhaps.
But I think also for me, that part about the kid dying in the beginning really was a little too much.
Yeah. And the thing is, if it was a manga or in a series and you were kind of seeing them a while, then it happened. Yeah, I can completely understand that. Because remember, there was supposed to be a series like a few years ago. They were gonna reboot into like a multimedia show, and then nothing ever came about. So either they didn't get the funding they needed, or maybe they backed out thinking maybe the people aren't ready for that show still.
Well, also, if it had just been about a man who creates a boy like Pinocchio, that would have been fine. But again, back to that child being killed in the beginning. Now, part of the real reason that the child died is because he never did what he was told to do.
Right.
Get back, stay away, don't go here, don't do that. Everything he did, he just totally disobeyed.
Right.
I think that was also another message that probably didn't go well for audiences as well.
It wasn't an unfortunate accident like there was, like he was at the wrong place, wrong time, or he didn't know or anything. They give him specific instructions to stay away and what to do, and he just blatantly disobeys. So yeah, it wasn't like it was out of their control or anything. It could have been avoided. So it was like, yeah, that was part of the problem.
So what we're going to tell you now is we're not going to stop our podcast because we love talking to you. But unfortunately, someone next door has decided to mow their lawn. So if you hear a low buzzing noise, that's what it is. But we're going to keep coming at you live.
Yeah. It's no technical difficulties.
That's correct. So that's unfortunate because, as you said, the animation was really good. The voice casting was great. Mm-hmm. Was the manga, do you know, was that really successful?
The manga, yeah, it was highly successful in Japan. It got one anime series in the 80s, then another in the 90s, and they did one in 2003, which was maybe partially done with Americans. And then, like I said, they tried to do one a few years ago. They were hyping it up, and then nothing came of it, so either they backed out or it didn't get enough funding. And then I saw one at random where it was like a really, really, really chibi, kid-friendly, like a kindergartner's version. I'm like, okay, so this one can make it, but not the one that's like on level of Ultra Legendary Defender. That didn't make it, but this did.
You know what's really similar to this, and I don't remember the name of it, but you were watching it one day on demand. It was an anime show, and there was a little boy in it. He was dressed, now that I think about it, he looked like Astro Boy. And I kept saying, why does it look like this kid doesn't have clothes on the way the armor was? He had on like the little briefs like Astro Boy, and he had some metal on his legs and things. Oh. Do you remember? It was for younger kids, and you were just taking a look at it. And I decided to go ahead and watch it with you. And that reminded me, now that we've rewatched Astro Boy, that particular series definitely was patterned after Astro Boy or an inspiration.
Yeah,
you know what it was?
No, actually, no, I don't even know
but
if
it was
came
for
on a station.
Very young kids. No, it was on demand.
Okay.
And it was for much younger kids. But clearly it's inspired other people to do other work. So, unfortunately, this was not a commercial success. And unfortunately, in America, it really didn't do well. But if you like this movie, tell us in the comments below what made it great for you. Do you wish for a reboot, as Rascal saying may happen? Let us know as well. So that just about wraps it up for Astro Boy.
Yeah, as far as the story and stuff, like they said, it's not a bad story. It's just the thing you expect in the story. And it's a shame because it looked like for this character you could have gone all out. I thought like him becoming a superhero. That part doesn't come in until literally the last act of the movie, after he has to deal with a bunch of crazy people and a mayor that wants to be reelected. Like you haven't seen that enough.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was crazy. He was just maniacal in wanting to be reelected. He didn't care whom he killed, what happened.
Yeah,
even when the scientist's son got killed, he didn't care. There was absolutely no empathy, no sympathy, no nothing.
No, he just get rebellious. I know, hurt my election. It's like
that also was a downfall to the movie.
Yeah,
he was just not even. Sometimes you have villains, as you know, you have Loki and others that they're charming and appealing, even though they are the bad guy. And you don't mind seeing them on screen, and you don't mind the interactions between them and the good guys because they're entertaining. This guy in no way, shape, or form was entertaining. He was grating, and every time he came on screen, it was like, can you hurry up and go away?
Right.
It was not. I was not enjoyable in any sense of the word. So I think that was another downfall.
Yeah, because it looks like if it was supposed to follow the pattern of the show or the manga, it was gonna be him on the journey to becoming a super, like, he would save people, like, here and there, and they would hear stories about him, and then they'll hear, okay, he's not so bad, give him a chance or something, then he has to fight a greater evil, and so on. No, they just kind of have him where nobody wants him, and he keeps going from place to place, no one knows he's actually a robot, then he gets stuck in a gladiator battle, and then he's with these people on the ground who were called the surface dwellers, like this is an Aquaman, it's just... It doesn't feel like something Astro Boy would do.
And the last comment for me is, I guess if I'd read the manga, I would know the answer, but they never explained to you where his dad got his memories and his consciousness from. That was never explained.
This is in his hair.
He was blown up.
Yeah.
And he died. He was obliterated.
Yeah, and then...
But would have happened from a hair. Maybe there's a little more description, a little more explanation in the manga. So I think that the movie should have taken the time to develop that a little more, just so you understood why and how this robot child was created.
Yeah, it was way too fast. So, like, okay, it's got to be more explanation than just a hair. Usually they'll say, oh, I store the memories, or this program will replicate, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's all we can say for Astro Boy. I hope there's another reboot and it's really, really well done, or the one from 2015 finally gets made at some point. You can let us know what you thought of the movie in the comments below.
That's right.
And tune in tomorrow for our next Robot Heroes podcast. I'm Ask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you want to do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Hit her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it to you later on in the